All right, what was this number? Second place.
What was our German winner?
God.
St. Pauli girl.
No! St. Pauli!
You came so close.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Prost!
We're super excited. We've got our lederhosen on. We're gonna be trying a lot of cool beer, and let's get right into it, John.
Absolutely.
All right. So, as you can see, we have a guest today on our episode. It's John, and I've said it several times. I'm not a beer nerd, but for this episode, we need a beer nerd, and that's John. John is our beer nerd. Yeah. I'm pretty excited about all the variety. We pretty much.
Damien and I raided the local supermarkets. We bought, I think, almost every craft beer you can get at the local supermarket, as well as every German beer you can get at the local supermarket.
Exactly.
So we're excited for what I think is going to be a pretty intense competition here between the American interpretation and the German interpretation of Oktoberfest beer. And honestly, what's most exciting to me is we went and we got different German styles of beer outside of the Oktoberfest lens. Because if you go back to the early 1800s in Germany, they didn't invented Oktoberfest beer for the first Oktoberfest in Munich. Exactly. So we went and got some different styles, and I think it's going to be a neat competition to see who actually comes out on top.
German beer was the Oktoberfest beer. That was it. That was it. And of course, in the US, we had to go crazy. We had to go nuts with all these different varieties. So let's put them to the test. Let's see which ones are gonna carry out to be the champion. All right?
What'll boil to the top?
You excited? You ready?
I am very ready, and I'm glad my wife's driving me home.
Well, Flyte Me, bro. Prost!
Prost!
All right, folks, here you have it. We're gonna start with the American selection first. So we're gonna taste a couple, and they're gonna be head to head. So we're gonna put number 1 head to head to number 2, number 3 to head number 4, and we're gonna move those on to the next round. So kind of bracket style tournament here, and we're gonna go pretty quickly because we have a lot to try out. So let's go. Let's start with number 1 here.
Prost, sir.
Prost. All right. Oh man, that takes me back.
Does it? Mm-hmm. Definitely kind of your classic American style Marzen beer.
Yeah.
The right level of sweetness, not too overpowering.
No, not
roasty,
at all.
easy to drink.
Yeah.
But that's kind of one of the key things I'm going to taste for here, right? I got to think of myself sitting outside on a warm fall day, thinking about,
like, if you're in Germany. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or at least, you know, a better part of Texas where it's not 100 degrees outside.
And trying to get through a few pints of these, or steins of these, probably. Key difference 1 to 2, hoppier, lighter body.
Yeah, and right? The aroma's not as strong, not as malty as this
Definitely
one.
Has less of a malt balance. So for replicating the Marzen style, number 1 definitely wins.
Yeah.
But for a drinkability perspective, what are your thoughts?
I like the hoppiness, to be quite honest.
I do too. I'm going with number 2. Let's pass it.
I like the hoppiness. Let's go.
Keep going. Round 3 and 4.
That was good. All right, let's go. Number 3 here.
Very different. Much darker, roastier malts.
The aroma's not as strong. I don't know. Did you catch that at the beginning?
I can distinctly taste kind of the dark burnt malts, almost like an L40 crystal malt, right?
Yep.
Something that has a decent amount of caramel in it.
It is just a lot more, get that burnt flavor for sure.
This almost has a fruity flavor to me.
Yeah, and it's a little bit,
at least a fruity aroma.
It's a little bit more lagery. I don't know if that's a term. But
it could be. Technically, all Marzen beers should be lagers.
Yeah.
What tends to throw people with that style is most lagers don't have that strong of a malt balance, and so you're not picking up as much of that malty sweetness, right? And you think of it more like an ale, like an amber ale.
Yeah. Man, I'm troubled with these.
I do too. I would give it to number 3 because it's unique.
I love that
burnt malt flavor, and it still has a lighter body. So again, if I'm sitting outside for a while, I think number 3 is what I'm going to want to have a few steins of.
All right, we're moving on.
Let's go to the next round.
Move on. We've got Flyte 2. So
another flight of American beers for us to give a shot to.
Yeah, all Oktoberfest style. So
looking forward to it. You can see there's a distinct color difference between number 5 and number 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in what this competition is like.
Let's try it out. Oh
There's a light roastiness on the nose.
Definitely a lighter.
Very light beer. Almost an adjunct style beer, right? Kind of like...
That is surprising.
If you were to drink Bud Light that was a little bit malty or something like that, you know?
And
but quite drinkable,
it. Yeah,
right? It definitely has like the right drinkability
it's
characteristic that you want from
crisp. It's good. Wow,
night and day with that in 6.
Yeah, it's
The
so
6
different.
is deep, dark, roasty.
But this is so refreshing too. It is hard to get like a Marsanne that's like malty but refreshing at the same time. I don't know why, but
that is a fair point. I have to go back and forth on that.
Oh man, I don't know. This is tough. Definitely like very different styles of beer. I want to say 6, but I don't know.
I'm gonna go 6.
Yeah.
The sweetness in 6, as much as I like the drinkability of 5, and if somebody forced me to drink, 6 pints of beer in a night, I would probably pick 5 over 6. I'm gonna go 6. I think they do the style better, and I think I would enjoy it a lot more after the first couple.
6 moves on. Let's go. 7. All right. Oh, that's a nice smell. The aroma is really good.
Again, I'm really getting a decent amount of like fruity characteristic, at least for the Marzen style of beer out of this.
Yeah.
I'm tasting almost like roasted Currant or something like that. And I have no idea what a Currant tastes like. I drink red wine with people that drink red wine. They apparently know what it tastes like, but that's what I'm getting. Ooh, okay.
Oh, this one's a...
Slightly more bittering hop, and it has more of a roasted maltiness, like...
I could taste the hops like really good. But the balance of the hops with like the maltiness, it actually works. I don't know.
It does.
Oh man, I don't know which one to pick. Because they're very different.
Wicked. I'm going with 7. If I had to pick one.
I'm gonna agree with you.
I like the hoppiness at 8, but it has too much bitterness for the style.
Yeah.
And if I'm drinking Oktoberfest beer, I do like that Marzen sweetness. So
the one
and
on
this
the
one,
other flight was like the hoppy was balanced perfectly. This one, it's a
too
little
much
bit
bitterness,
too
not
bitter.
enough hop flavor. I think both 7 and 6 did it right.
Yep.
Too light, too hoppy. They move forward.
Yep.
Let's go.
7 and 6.
All right, Damien. So this is the American semifinals.
Yeah, we're in the semifinals here. We've got 2 and 3 from the first round, 6 and 7 from the second round. We're gonna
taste all 4 and try to pick the top of the 4.
Top of the 4.
Well, we've already noticed, right? 7 of these is actually the lightest beer, which is interesting. And 2 actually has a touch of haze, which means that this brewery probably doesn't have a filtration system on it, because lagers usually wouldn't have much haze to them.
Yeah, you can
compared to anything else.
Look at that.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So
pretty clear.
let's give it a shot. We'll start with number 2.
Prost.
Prost.
That's
nice,
so good.
Rounded, sweet.
I enjoy
appropriate
the
maltiness. Not too heavy, not too much residual sugar.
Yeah, it would pair really nice with like a nice like jerky or like a sausage.
Oh, sausage or a
sausage
jerky, man, would it pair
now
well
I know.
with that.
Now I know why they have sausages. That's so great.
All right, I'm gonna switch it up to number 6. I'm gonna try to do a little bit better tasting. Try to get the aroma. 8 beers in, it's different. Distinctly different than number 3. I'm gonna go back to number 2 real quick. A more rounded malt flavor, a little bit heavier on the body.
Yeah.
And a touch hoppier than number 2.
Yeah.
3 definitely stands out as having the most roasted characteristics. And for number 7.
Number 6 is refreshing though. It's really good. Number 7 is a little bit lighter than
it is lighter.
All of them compared.
So
yeah.
If I'm gonna sit out, and I'm gonna have a few of these, I'm gonna put 6 back. It's gonna be hard to have a few of them. If I only get 1, I'm not gonna be able to drink a couple of liters of number 6.
And when you're in Germany and you're in Oktoberfest, you are having a ton of beer. So you want to enjoy a lot of good beer. So that's
a lot of different types.
That's a big thing for us right now.
My gut says, as much as I love the roasted character of number 3,
yeah.
Again, I think if I'm going to drink 4 or 5 liters of it,
it's tough.
And I also think that I keep upping the number of theoretical liters I drink as we've drank more beer. But I think I'm going to have a hard time with that one. All right, 7 versus 2.
Man, I really like that balance of the hoppiness from 2.
I'm going with 2.
Yeah,
yeah. 2's
I really
moving
like
forward.
It. 2.
Night and day.
We're going with you 2.
All right.
All right. we're on to the next round of the German style beers. So this is gonna be an interesting because these are the ones that are gonna compete against the American style beers. So
we'll start with number 9 and 10.
Let's go for it. Ooh, that's hazy. Look at that.
It is. If I had to guess, Prost, it might be a wheat beer. Yeah,
it is a wheat beer.
Oh yeah, that's got that bubble gum you peeled off your friend's shoe and chewed anyway type of flavor. Exactly what you, exactly. That's what you expect from a German wheat beer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a classic style. And again, if you're gonna drink a few liters of it, that's a good drinkable beer.
And we're going with number 10 here, which I think is the Dunkel.
A Dunkel,
yeah.
Right. Interestingly enough, the key thing that I get when I taste this is the flavor of that one Oktoberfest.
That burnt flavor?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because they got that strong crystallized malt.
Which I don't know if we're going to be able to do too much of this.
I know. I will say though, Dunkels from a dark beer perspective, because they don't have the residual sweetness, it's actually, in my mind, much less sweet than most of the Marzen beers we tried.
Yeah.
Right? More drinkable because it has less residual sugar. But of the two, I'm going to go with number 9. I love me that bubble gum.
Yep. That's the one that keeps you going. You drink some more and more and more, and it's fine. You can keep going.
Which means that 11, 12 are probably...
Number 9 moves on. 11.
Our Pilsner style beers.
Definitely
oh my goodness.
A lot more Pilsner.
And a distinct difference between the two, which actually I'm kind of surprised by. So I find 12 to be much more hoppy with a touch of that hop bitterness.
They look very similar. I mean, number 11 is a little darker.
Yeah. More rounded maltiness.
Yeah.
Number 12, much sharper. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, you guys saw the intro of the video. One of these is St. Pauli Girl. If we all know anything about St. Pauli, we know that the beer there might be a little questionable.
But which one is it? I don't know.
I don't know either. That's what I'm really worried about.
I don't want to choose St. Pauli Girl.
So my gut says, which one to me tastes more like piss? And I'm going to say 12 tastes more like piss than 11. But I really hope I'm not shitting on Hofbrau München that much. I think the malt balance of number 11 is better.
11 is so much
more
better.
Rounded. And as much as I was interested in maybe St. Pauli winning, I don't know if I really want St. Pauli to win much in this world.
11, 9, they move on.
Let's move forward.
All right. Guys, this is the semifinals of the German edition. We're gonna pick the one that moves to go against the Americans.
And most importantly to note, we chose 2 German Oktoberfest to compete against the top 2 of our last round. And that was, again, because we wanted to give the original German beers a chance in the running.
All right, let's go. Start number 9. Prost.
Bubble gum.
Very familiar.
Absolutely. It's got that classic Weizen flavor. You know, honestly, I think I'm going to go with 14 next. I'm going to try to do this in order as if I was at some fancy establishment serving my beers.
I still remember 11 from the last round, so let's move quickly here.
Oh my goodness. I don't want to get ahead of you, but there's a distinct, interesting flavor in number 14.
Oh, 13 though.
Okay, 13, I'm going.
Man. Try 13. It's interesting.
I tried it. Rounded, dark, roasted, malty, not too sweet. Try 14. Intensely sweeter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do they do that? It's like, it's not as malty, but it's sweeter.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Man, quite a bit of residual sweetness in that.
Specifically, you get the sweetness from that malt, and, you know, but that's weird.
Yeah, so what they've done, man, I've got no clue. We put these 4 on a pedestal. I'm seeing bubblegum, the hoppiest because it's a German Pilsner, well balanced with malted roundness, and a pretty unique, I mean, if I had to say, maybe like a strong German lager, which is generally the type of Oktoberfest beers that they brew.
Yep, that's the original. Like that's what you go and have at Oktoberfest, and that's a very similar like profile that you would have in Germany.
If we're going for, I'm going to sit out and have a few liters of it, I'd go with number 11. Even knowing it's not an Oktoberfest style beer, that's the type of beer I'd want to drink at Oktoberfest. And if you're going with, obviously, the best Marzen style beer.
Now, think about what we're gonna go against in
the Americans.
In the Americans. So let's give Germany a good shot. Let's give Germany a good shot. So what do you think that's gonna like put the Americans to test.
Your most interesting comparison is number 13. That's your Marzen style beer. It's the one that's going to closely resemble what the Americans are presenting. I think.
So do you think that has the best shot against the Americans?
No, I think number 11 does.
11, okay. 11 moves forward to the finals.
Cheers to that.
All right, we're down to the final two. This is the finals.
It's the finals.
USA versus Germany. Who's gonna win?
We got an American style Marzen versus a German style Pilsner.
Let's find out.
Let's see who wins.
All right.
You know what? I'm gonna recommend we go light to dark.
Okay.
I'm gonna recommend we go light to dark.
You're the beer nerd.
Just a little bit.
All right. Prost.
Prost.
I can drink this all day.
Precisely. I think what strikes me most notably about a German Pilsner beer is its ability to have malt flavor with extraordinarily light color, right? So most people think, oh, I like this beer because it's malty. You're thinking like a brown ale or even like an amber ale, right? But when you can think about a good German lager, they can still balance the malt flavor in a way that American lagers just don't do, right? You don't taste malt when you're drinking a Bud Light.
Look at that.
So let's see.
Look at that haziness.
I know. That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. I'm glad that it's made it to the final.
Me too.
Yeah.
On the nose, decidedly different from this one.
Yeah. It's got a strong aroma, malty, very malty aroma.
This is hop, earthy, maybe even a little grassy, right?
Yep.
You have, honestly, a pretty similar hop backbone.
Yeah, and it's very refreshing enough where it's like, I can have this all day too. So it's like, it removes that metric and we can't.
What it does is it brings with it the roasted malt character without losing any of the hoppy roundness.
Yeah.
And it has, I would say, the appropriate level of sweetness. It's a wicked hard choice.
I mean,
between the two.
I'm gonna go Team USA.
Are you?
I don't know. I think so. I think it's really.
I think in this competition, I'm gonna go Team USA too.
It has that maltiness.
I think so.
But it's balanced with the hoppiness. It's really, really good.
I think so. I am wicked excited to find out what the finalists were.
Yeah.
We had no idea. All right, so Team USA?
Team USA.
It's not just because we're Americans.
No. Sorry, Germans.
It's mostly because we're Americans.
Sorry. But number 2 moves on to be the ultimate winner. And which one is it? What is it? What is it?
All right.
We're insanely excited.
Number 2 is 11 Below.
What? No way. This one's next to my house.
No,
we go there all the time.
What?
During quarantine, I buy like 2 cases every week. Everybody seems to think clear beer matters, but the reality is, it doesn't. Your flavor comes from the quality of the beer that you brew.
11 Below. You did it.
That's it.
You did it. You got the Oktoberfest trophy. Look at that. You did it. All right. What was this number? Second place.
What was our German winner?
Oh God.
St. Pauli girl.
No!
St. Pauli!
You came so close!
It wasn't St. Pauli.
It was Hofbrau München.
Hofbrau.
What I tend to think of as the classic German beer that's broadly available in America. I'm not going to say it's really a classic German beer, but you can get almost everywhere here.
You almost had us on that one.
You really did. You almost killed us.
You would have lost your beer nerd card. You were this close to losing your beer nerd card.
I would have. That's why I threw it in there. Everybody needs a wild card.
So Hofbrau, you did pretty good. Right balance on the maltiness and the hoppiness, and it goes a long way. But 11 Below,
it goes everywhere.
Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for going through the entire round of all these different beers.
14 different beers.
Yeah, that was rough.
You could find at the local supermarket.
So thank you guys for subscribing as well. And if you haven't already, subscribe and click that little bell so you can get notifications on new videos. Also, we have so much more content coming up that you're going to be pretty excited about. We've got, pumpkin ales. That's
very exciting.
Very, very exciting. We've got coffee porters that are going to be off the charts. So we have more stuff going on. So subscribe. Let us know what you think on the comments. And thank you guys for joining this episode. And thank you, John, for being on this episode.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate it. And
Prost.
Prost.